I'm Melody Rosecrans. Welcome to Invoke and Raw. And today we're going to talk about Ascension and awakening the truth. Truth for you? Maybe, maybe not. Let's find out and see how you feel. I usually gloss over who I am and what I offer and what I do, but I want to spend a minute on that today. I am a medium. I'm an evidentiary medium. What that means is I gather evidence. When I call in another spirit or a past loved one of yours, I ask for evidence. Some of you have been mediumship clients of mine and know and have experienced that, and get those keys so that you know that your loved ones really are here with you, watching you, and supporting you on your journey. I also do Akashic and Galactic records. Akashic records in Christianity is similar to the Book of Life that they talk about in biblical sense. Galactic records are similar, but it's your galactic lifetime. And that is collected in a similar body or energy source. It is different. It is different. At least what I've gathered. Somebody in the audience asked if that's different, and I'm just going to explain. When you're in the Akashic records, it's all relevant to your human life, although you can get some information about how many lifetimes you've lived abroad, so in a different plane or planetary system. Galactic records is all about being in that energy of your galactic lifetimes. Many of us have had at least one. Not everybody so much on Earth. Me personally, I've only had in this meat soup type lifetime on Earth 5. All the rest of my lives have been spent out on other planets. It explains a lot, doesn't it? I'm also an awakening life coach. I'm here as a living body of wisdom, an igniter to your awakening. It's actually my favorite thing to do, is to sit and help people awaken their own psychic abilities, their own connection to divine, even better, their own connection with the light within themselves. It is absolutely my favorite thing to do, is to watch, my children, my clients flourish in this world and get tools that they can move forward and take it a little easier. I'm here to remove blocks. Energetic blocks, and move things out of the way, not only for you individually as a person, but our community as a whole. Overview of what we're actually going to talk about. Myths and truth about awakening and ascension. I have a couple awakening ascension schematics I'm going to show you, and then why do it? Because you might be questioning why do it after this. Myth. There's only one way. That's the biggest myth of all. As many methods there are to transcendence, there are seekers. So I want you to really hear that. Or as many methods there are to elevate yourself, there are teachers. I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. And if I'm not for you, that's totally okay. I really want you all to connect and learn how to connect inside yourself and find what resonates and works for you. McDonald's drive-thru. Darlings, I hate to tell you this, but there is no way you're going to drive through and get your $5.99 meal and your little plastic toy to awakening. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to come quick. It's not going to come easy. And you certainly don't want it to buy the drive-through method from anyone. If they're selling you that, you better just put that plastic junk in the garbage and forget about it. Likewise, it's not going to come from Gucci either, if you know what I mean. So the guy that's going to charge you $2,000 for this potion to get you to awaken, honey, save your money. Save your money. You have it all right here. Having a teacher and a guide is wonderful, but you have it all right here. And there is no potion that's going to get you there. There's not. There's not even a crystal that's going to get you there. Sorry, I appreciate the crystal shop for allowing me to teach here, but Their vibrations and frequencies can help you. They can help you like a security blanket, like a pacifier. It can help. But you buy all the crystals in the world and it's still not going to get you there if you're not willing to do the work. You must like everyone. This is another myth that as soon as you ascend or awaken, you have to like everyone. No, darling, you don't. You don't. You don't have to like everyone. That also doesn't mean you get to go around and badmouth or be ugly to everyone, right? It's a learning of what works for you and honoring that, right? Sometimes you come up to people and you start to get to know them and it feels good, and then all of a sudden, wait, something doesn't feel right. Back up, that's okay. It's okay to love somebody from a distance. I can love and respect this person in front of me and honor their path and honor myself, love myself enough to know it's not for me, and it's okay. You go rock this world and your journey, but my journey's going that direction, and that's okay. It's honoring each other in our own unique journeys in life, allowing each other to struggle. You know, it may look like you're just tripping, but that's your trip that you have to take, and I don't want to trip like that. I want to wear my heels and not trip. Everything is a mirror. So I hear that a lot in the awakening community, that everything that surrounds you is a mirror. Every interaction with another human is a mirror. I tell you, no, it is not. Although, yes, I have people in the crowd going, whew, I didn't think so. And I'm here to tell you it is not. Now, some are, a lot is. And to know if it's a mirror, it just takes a lot of self-honesty, looking in yourself and finding out, is this really a mirror I'm experiencing, or is it a lesson? There's the other one. So there are mirrors and lessons. Some people are going to come into your life. I'm going to change this story. Hold on. If I see somebody being abused, and I'm interacting, or that person is abusive towards me, I know, I mean, maybe you guys don't know, but I know I'm not an abusive person. This is not a mirror. It's not a mirror. It is, however, a lesson. It's a lesson for me to go, Melody, do you love yourself? Are you worthy enough to say, no, you won't be hitting me today. No, you will not be calling me bad names today. I love myself enough to say, you're not for me. Go ahead and do your thing, but I'm going to back away. That's not a mirror. That's not a mirror. Now, maybe you've been a butthead. We've all been buttheads. We've all had our moments. We are human. Okay, so nobody can sit here and say they've never had a moment with another human. And then that comes back to you. George, whoever, comes to you and acts in the same way you did, but maybe you don't remember it right away. They do some finger pointing or whatever that hurts you and gets you all riled up. And you know, that George, he's such a blah, 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 blah. How dare he do this to me and blah, 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 blah. And then you stop and think, why is this making me so angry? Why am I getting so mad? What's happening here? Why did George tip over my garbage can? Oh, that one time I was backing up my car. I knocked over those people, Lucinda's garbage can, and I just drove off because she left it too close to the back of my truck. That's the mirror. Oh, why? Or karma. There you go. It's coming back, and I'm being faced with an action that I've done, that I've been presented with, to look at within myself and go, oh.
And that's just how you heal it, though. You heal it just, all you have to do is look at it. You don't have to pay your price then, or...
No. And one of my students is saying all you have to do is look at it. And you're right. That is all you have to do. Shaming yourself is not getting anywhere. If I know I have a problem, or I'm just saying, gosh, Melody, so many times in this lifetime, you just gone and you've ran over people's garbage cans and you never did anything about it or felt sorry about it. Well, now, gosh, maybe you should stop, This isn't right. It doesn't feel good when somebody does it back to you. And that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do is review it and find out, why are you doing this? Why is it feeling this way? I really think and know the best way to review your actions and deal with these mirrors, and you have a lot of them every day, or lessons, is in the evening at bedtime, go backwards through your day and just think, what did I do? What did I do? How did that feel? Oh, I got riled up and really angry about something today. Why? Oh, I was a little harsh with my daughter today. Why? Oh, her little action reminded me of an action that I did as a kid, and I didn't get away with it. Is that
always the case? Is when something happens like that, is that always the case, that it's something that we need to look in at ourselves? Yeah. Yes.
So whenever something happens, you always need to look at yourself. And this is where I'm talking about, though, the mirror versus the lesson.
Right.
And the only way to know the difference between the two is complete, absolute honesty with yourself. Yeah. And be willing to do it. A lot of people don't.
Look at yourself like, oh,
exactly. Be willing to look at yourself.
But then but by doing that, you can, and you don't have to share it with nobody.
Nope.
But absolutely, by noticing that is something that you did, and knowing that, and
changing the behavior.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because there's stuff that's happened so many long ago that has come up in my life and I would never do that again. But I did that. But I know that. So you just look at it.
Just look at it and go, okay, I see that. I'm going to do better tomorrow. Okay, I know I shouldn't have reacted like this. This is just because of junk from when I was a kid. That little girl or little boy or man or whatever didn't really. It was my stuff that I'm ashamed of from a kid.
That little stuff right there can change does shadow work?
Yeah.
That is so.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
It is. Yeah, please.
I would even say, if after you've looked at it, it doesn't feel like, maybe it isn't a lesson, maybe it isn't a mirror, maybe it is somebody else's stuff that was projected onto you. That's always a possibility too.
And you're right, but I want to call that a lesson. Okay. When you're looking back and it's not a mirror, it's not something you did, that's that moment of abuse, that's that moment of ugliness coming at you. That's a lesson. That's a lesson. Oh, Melody, I need to love me enough to say, this isn't for me. And that's okay. Exactly. A healthy boundary. And separate yourself. It doesn't mean, oh my gosh, it doesn't, just because, oops, there that goes. Just because you're awakened and enlightened or ascending, it doesn't mean you have to go and like everyone.
Or be a doormat.
Or accept abuse by anyone. Likewise, though, it doesn't mean that you carry on their ugliness. Be a lady, be a gentleman, be a true divine man, a true divine woman, and just go, oh, you like Maureen? Good, if it works for you. It doesn't work for me, and that's all that we need to say. When you're stirring the pot and spreading bad, negative energy, then you kind of got to look at, are you really learning your lesson, or are you keeping that fire of dense energy going? Instead of just honoring yourself and honoring that they're not for you, and that's okay. Because you know what? They might be for somebody else. And it might work great for somebody else. They may be a completely different individual for somebody else.
Or a different time in your life, you needed that.
Exactly.
I'm finding that with myself. I'm finding that people that I once adored is not for me.
Oh, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Love and light are all you need. So, first I got to give a little thank you to Love and Light, because I know. Just using the words love and light have helped me extraordinarily in my life. It have. When you're learning to get this brain to stop spinning, going down rabbit holes, and you're trying to learn how to stop negative thinking, I don't know how many times in the beginning of my awakening and going through this process, I'd go, love and light, love and light, love and light, love and light. Anytime something dark and ugly came in my head, I love and lighted the heck out of that. That was my mantra. Now, that doesn't mean that that's all you need, though. That doesn't mean I can't just love and light that abusive person right back into submission or any other situation. That doesn't mean that darkness is bad. I kind of really don't like when people forget how beautiful the darkness is, how beautiful nighttime is. Look at all the beauty that still exists. And that's what shadow work is. It's embracing your darkness and seeing how it's helped you, how it serves you, and loving it so it doesn't take over your life or eat you alive. Make sense? Yeah. I like to say love and wisdom now, because wisdom is discernment between what shadow is good, what dark is good, and what dark is not. Right, exactly. Heroes never fall. So I know a lot of people really put their teachers or heroes up on a pedestal, which is nice. Or they like to compare themselves and think, oh, you're my teacher, so you're way up there. Boy, I bet your poop don't stink. Does it? No, it couldn't, because you're sitting way up there. No. We all got our poop. We do. Oh, I have no idea what I did. No. There we go. So as you ascend, you're still going to have poop to deal with in your life. You're still going to have moments of poop to deal with in your life. Mine is no different than yours. And I tell this time and time again in my classes, and I sincerely mean it. I am so honored to be in front of you and teaching, but I am no better or worse than any of you in here. I'm not.
Does it at all get better? I mean, it just helps.
Wait for it.
Just helps the bad times.
No, don't shut up. I love the interaction. It gets better, but it doesn't get better. It's different.
This is different, yeah.
It's different. Your experience, your ability to see and experience life is different. It's completely different. The way you would normally probably get really riled up about things, the way you would abuse yourself into submission, into this loop of junk in your head. I'm not worthy. I suck. I'm terrible. I'm whatever. The self-abuse, which is actually the worst of all, and most of us do it constantly, gets way better. And when you are no longer abusing yourself, guess what? You're not abusing others. You're not as fired up and angry because you don't feel so crappy about yourself. And it makes the world a difference. You still get sick when you're awakened and ascended. Your heroes still fall down. Now, that being said, gosh, I'm so proud of myself because I know I'm vibrating higher and higher, and I have a kid in public school, so I usually get colds and flus like crazy. It's like all winter we're shut down. Do not come to the Rosecrans residence because something's happening. The last 3 viruses previous 3 viruses that came through my house. I'd start feeling it. I go, nope, you're not getting sick. Nope, I'm not getting sick. And I was able to push it away. And this last time the universe said, no, Melody, you need to rest. And I went into the horizontal position for quite some time. So you can really get in tune with your body and start pushing things away better, get more connected. But the universe also has other ideas on no, sometimes sickness is a time for you to lay down and rest and reshed and go through and take some time horizontal. Because we need that. We push ourselves, especially in Western civilization, way too freaking hard to be these energizer bunnies doing everything constantly. And no time for family, no time for self. It's no. I got to work. There's no more 3D and 5D. I know some of you went to my class when I really went through Ascension and Dimensions with great detail. And you'll remember that I talked about, and let me go back to what the 3rd dimension is, just so everybody knows what I'm talking about. Right here, right now, what most people are experiencing on life is that duality in the 3rd dimension. As you ascend, as you deal with your shadow work and start to awaken, becoming more and more connected with the light within you, how your body works and operates, your connection to whatever source above there is, you raise up in frequency to 5D. So if 3D is duality, it's all bad and it's all good. It's back and forth. 5D is more like a 70% good, 30% lower density energy. When you're up in 5D, you're considered awakened. It would consider that I'm awakened. Most of you would agree with that.
Do you know when you're awakened?
Yes. You're still going to experience and have to live in 3D. You still experience and see or witness the lower dimensions. What you do when you raise up in your frequency and raise up to a higher dimension is you stay up there more and down in the lowers less. Makes sense? You still are witness to it. But if you are only in 3rd dimension, you cannot experience the 5th dimension if you've never been up there, right? Once you're standing on the 5th floor, you can see all the floors below you, but you're not marinating in that goop. Okay?
Do you know who is in the 3rd and 5th dimension? Do you know who is in what dimension?
By looking at them? So she just asked if I know who's in what dimension by looking at them. In general, yes, I do. Because you know that I see auras and the whole auric field. To me, my experience, the way you spark, that's what I see, is differently. There's more spark occurring. I know even more so if I have an interaction with you. When people are constantly in 5D, the spark stays bright and lit up continuously. When they're just on the precipice or getting there, it's like blink, 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 okay? Like the Las Vegas lights flashing or something, you know. I'm getting there. I'm almost there, not quite there yet, okay? All your woes disappear. Nope. They don't. You're still going to have problems. You still have to live in 3D. You still need to make some sort of living. All your woes do not disappear. And in fact, for a moment, you may get a lot of woes. As you start to ascend, things naturally and people begin to disappear and shed away from your life. There are so many people that go through the ascension process and they end up in divorce, because you just end up splitting so much in the way that you can know you love yourself enough to go, whoa now, I'm worthy of not being treated like that. or they're still monkey braining in turmoil, going over and over these negative things, and you just can't feel it anymore. You can't take it anymore. You want to be in peace and love and a higher vibration, and they're not, and it's nothing bad against them and their process or you being better. It's a natural shedding. People, like you were saying a moment ago, Jennifer, that people have left your life that you used to really like to hang out with, and you notice now, this isn't right for me anymore. That's because you're taking responsibility completely of your experience and your love for self in this world. And you're going, and the universe is going, whoa, there's no more attraction here, because you're more positive. You're love and light. Yeah. And that vibration energetically, if you want to just talk energetically, the frequencies just can't match. They have to expel away from you.
So
Yes.
As we are ascending,
Yeah.
we're trying to reach those around us that we love. We want to help them as well. And they're either going to be resistant or receptive. But at some point, if they're not ascending at our level, they're still going to kind of branch off. That's their journey. At some point, is it okay to invite them back into your life if they're raising their vibration as well? Or is it better to just leave that, and if it happens, but not try to invite them back in?
That's a really hard question. It's a very good question, but it's a question that you personally need to marinate on inside yourself. It was a long question, and I hope they got that. But I'm going to repeat it just in case. She's asking when people that you want in your life are separated from you because of frequency, because you're ascending and they're staying stagnant, do you invite them back into your life? Is it a positive relationship is the first thing I would ask you to think about. If the relation is positive and feels good, of course invite them back in. If it's a family relationship, like a child, a husband, whatever, that's so different, because that's our blood. But it can still not be for our highest good. But you might want to check in frequently and know that you cannot expect them to be anything other than who they are and where they're at in this moment in life. And know that maybe your way is not their way, and that's okay. So you just lead by example, not by pressure, not by shoving it down their throat. You just lead by example.
That's what I've noticed. I've noticed that with myself. That it's not about pushing some. I'm not doing any kind of pushing or pulling, but they're just floating off. I mean, I still have my interaction, but it's not as much, and I'm not working hard at it, and neither are they. You know what I mean? It seems to naturally just.
It will.
Natural.
And
inviting someone back in that's my own ego thing, which I know I gotta let that be mellow too.
And I don't know if I could add something, because you're making me think, because I went through something recently. You can hold on because you don't want to let go.
Right.
And then when you do let go, and it feels, then once you've made that decision and you've let it go, you just feel so much lighter.
You do.
And you notice when then for some reason you have to have interactions with, those folks again, you start to feel that frequency that you used to be in with them creep back. And then, then it's like, okay.
Right.
Exactly.
You got it, you just have to let yourself separate and be liberated and be uplifted. But it's like a validation. That was the point I was trying to make. That liberation, that uplift, I think, is the validation that you were vibrating at different frequencies, and maybe it was hard to let somebody go, but you really needed to.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's hard to see them not here, not where.
Not in your life.
Or you might
So long.
you might feel responsible or sad for them.
I kind of do. Like, hey, what are you doing? Come on. But you can only do so much.
Exactly.
And that's where I've learned that the letting go. I'm really into that right now. I'm going through that, where the letting go. It's like I can breathe. They're not drowning me.
And that's what that lower energy will do. It will make you feel suffocated and drowning because it's not for your highest good. And maybe you're not for their highest good, or else they'd be going up there. And it's nothing wrong about you. It's just energetically, like two magnets, it's just not a good match. You're not sparking the spark together.
That's really sad when you can't.
It is.
Someone don't see this.
And you're bullheaded. You want them to change. You want that
Right.
spark to change.
Yeah.
You know it can.
Yeah.
But you can't.
But it might not be their lifetime to do it, or
Yeah, exactly.
the time in their life to do it.
So there's lots of stages once you get to that. There's lots of stages to letting people go.
There's tons of stages to letting people go. And guess what? As you ascend, as you awaken, it's going to keep going and going and
We
going.
used to call that incompatible.
Oh, there's a good old-fashioned word, incompatible. There we go. No, we like to change things up and make it a little more glorified and fancy. But yeah, incompatible. But incompatible, I think of that more as just a basic relationship breaking up. When you're ascending and it doesn't feel good and things just seem to be falling away without effort, it's a little bit different because you're not there fighting it still. You're just, okay, this is just shedding away. I'm busy over here and I'm good with it. I'm not fighting to stay down in this density with them.
Yeah, but I think, when you come to the realization that you're incompatible, it can be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the lower stages of fighting, wanting to hang out still.
Yeah.
Or fighting.
Yeah.
To be in that same realm as them. It's like snow melting, though. Once you get higher up, to me, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't fight it, and I don't have to. It don't hurt so bad. Or,
You're in the flow.
Yeah.
I'm-
There we go. You're in the flow.
You're in the flow. You
Absolutely.
feel you're in the flow and you know it's right.
Right.
Okay. So I wanted to give you guys kind of a couple examples of what the ascension process really is like. This is frequency. Okay, obviously lower frequency, higher frequency. We all know that higher frequency is higher vibration. It's the ascension. Lower is your denser energies, your your fear, your hate, all that. This is a trend line to life, assuming you're on a trajectory to ascend, okay? Assuming that that's your path that you want. So your trajectory would be up, right? This is your energetic flow in your life process. You start off down here, you're kind of hugging, you're getting up here a little bit. Ooh, that felt good. Things are going good. And then you dip back down. And then dip up and down. As you ascend, even as you get higher up in your ascension process, you are going to get those moments, those shadow work moments that you thought you dealt with. This long period you spent down here is going to crop up again, just testing you. And then you climb right back up. And even when you reach the top, then you kind of will flatline and just hug that trend line and not be bothered by anything. But you'll still dip down once in a while, but not down here, not in that deep hate, fear, anger, but resonate more with the love and the higher frequency experience. Makes sense? So like I was telling you, heroes never fall. Yeah, they do. They do. They will experience those moments. They will remember shadows. They just won't stay as long. When you fall down here, you fall and you stay down there for a minute. A long minute, and you got to decide whether you're going to lift it up again or are you just going to stay marinating in that yuck. Make sense? Okay. Another way to think of it is a tornado, is a cyclone, an action of the cycling that goes around and around in your life for lifetimes and eventually goes up and up. So when you're at the bottom of the cyclone, so 1D, 2D, 3D, you're whipping around quick. It's darkest light, it's darkest light, it's darkest light. It's all in the same day, just going, woo,
And that's
today.
where all the destruction is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Today really sucks. It was the worst day of my life. Wow, did you see that? And, oh, this sucks. You're just going around, this stuff. But as you move up, it spins wider out, right? So it's a longer time that you're spinning, a longer time you're spending in the light or in the excitement, in the joy, in the higher frequency, and then just dipping into the dark for a short period at the extremes. Think of that big, wide cyclone like an oval at the top. When you get to the highest point, the highest frequency, you're there for a minute, and then you got this long time before you go to the dark again. But you just barely hit it for a minute, and then you're heading up again. Make sense? Okay. So why do it? So why do any of this work if I'm not going to be healthy constantly? If everybody is going to end up leaving me or me leaving them, if I'm still going to trip and fall once in a while, why do it? I can tell you why I do it. To know is not to believe. I want you to think about that for a second. To know is not to believe.
Not to believe what?
There's a big difference in knowing something and believing in something. There's a big difference to sit here and say, I believe in God. It's so great. There's another thing to say, without a doubt, I know, because I've seen and I've felt and I've heard and talked to angels, the divine, and that energy. I know it. Nobody will ever convince me again that I don't, because I don't believe it. I know it.
It's a certainty.
Exactly. Knowing is extreme certainty. Believing is, well, one day you believe that China's bad, the next day you believe they're not. Belief comes and go. But knowing that those people fighting at a war are no different than you and me, just fighting and scrambling in 3D world, doing what their leaders are telling them to do, knowing they're no different, better or worse than you and me, is different than just believing, well, I believe what the man on the TV told me because he told me it sucks. Right? I know the weather's going to be shit today because the weatherman told me. And not even looking out the window and seeing if there's clouds in the sky. I know when I walk out my back porch, the sun's shining. I don't have to believe what the man on the TV tells me. The keys to unlock you. What else do you have to do? What else do you have to do? Wouldn't it be amazing to know you? I know most of you are on the path, you're on the journey, but to really know, who am I without all the propaganda, with all this training and framework to be this minion and oh, they told me I must be married now. They told me I must go do this now. And feel into they told me I must believe it's raining today. Feel into what's you, your body, and knowing what's right. Because most of us all have a deep, esoteric, ancient wisdom within us. And we know what's right and wrong. We know. And you start to awaken, you go, I knew that my whole life, but they were telling me it was wrong. I knew that since I was a kid. I knew that. Yeah, you did, and you were right. Release of fear. And this goes back to the propaganda that's out there. Guess what? If I keep you in a high state of fear constantly, I can control you so easy. You're so easy to manipulate and control if you're in fear. I can make you so afraid of people and hate people you've never met in your life. So easy. You don't even know them. You didn't even experience any of it for yourself, or no? So why can't you love them? If you can hate and fear so easily, why not awaken in love? Love people just trying to get through this darn experience on earth and survive. That's what everybody's trying to do. Get a little bit of acknowledgement, a little bit of love, and survive. See through the control. Again, it goes back to the fear, but you will be able to see it more easily. Oh, I know what you're doing. Let me just follow that money. You want me to look at that shiny thing going on over here, or that big explosion over here, so I don't see what you're really doing over there. You're really trying to control me. There's no death. When you awaken, you realize there's no death. You just change energetic forms where we don't die. We just leave this, like my friend Ray Lynn says, meat suit, or this little, I like to think of it as mine is a machine. Hers is a meat suit. I have a machine, then I keep going and going and going in. But eventually I'm going to hop out of it and just hang out with my friends that I talk to all the time. You know? I'm not afraid at all. I'm not going to die. I'm going to be poking my daughter on the head, say, hello, you know I'm here, mess with her dream catcher. And she'll go, Mom, come on, not while I'm on the toilet. You're never alone. You are never alone. They are with you always. In fact, my house is so full that I am truly never alone. I tell my girls I need space. I need some space. Do they listen? Barely. They're, we're just checking on you. And I'm not talking about my meat suit family. I'm talking about the spirits. They're always there. We're not alone. It's learning how to communicate with them so that you can feel it and know it. And when you're awakened and can be tuned in more and experience it, whether you're a seer, a feeler, or you hear, they're there. It's just learning how to navigate your ship, your awesome superhuman vessel that we all have. 7 generations. Every one of us in here, I know, has experienced trauma in our lives. Every one of us in here, I know, has had some ancestral trauma that's repeated. Some more extreme than others, but we've all had it. And it goes back through epigenetics for 7 generations. I really, really wanted to break the cycle for my daughter. I really, really want a better future for my child. And it starts by me fixing me, monkey see, monkey do, and breaking those generational curses. And I shouldn't even use the word curse, but those patterns and those cycles that keep continuing to keep a family DNA bloodline rolling and or marinating in the pigsty. Just yes, I have a question.
In science, they say that it takes 3 times to hear something before you accept it. So like the 100th monkey kind of thing where it's a repetitive thing, all of a sudden the whole tribe even knows it. So it's not just the person, the one individual learned, but now everybody's watching and learning. So that gets in our deep DNA, right? So that's how the
Correct.
generational trauma passes down, because it's been so many times that it's just common knowledge. Like baby automatically knows this to nurse, automatically knows to grip, hold, and hold on to the mother.
Correct.
We have all these automatic things. That happens with the trauma as well then. It becomes an automatic response. Like, if I hear somebody yelling, my body automatically clenches because I remember yelling happens and then you get hit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And now it passed down to the children.
Correct.
And I've had experiences with my children of them telling me things of like, that bothers them. It's like, oh shit, I'm sorry. You know, 'cause I remember my trauma, or I knew about my parents' trauma. And you know about things that have happened in my family. So I'm wondering, how many times does it take of it being, I don't want to say broken, but healed, or how long do you have to heal it before it's completely healed for the future generations, and obviously the past as well? Is it like the one generation, like I do it, then we're good? Or is it going to be where I do it, but my children still need to make that part of their habit as well, to have it cleared from the family line.
Here's the thing. I know, because I know you, that you didn't start this healing before you had children. Okay? So all you can do now is show and hope they follow suit and work on their stuff. That's all you can do. I didn't start. You want to hear something even crazier? Most of you all know that I had fertility issues, so my daughter is via embryo donation. My daughter has never experienced abuse in her life. Although she would beg to differ, she thinks if mommy raises her voice, the whole world is over. Even worse is if I look at her sideways and she's melting on the floor. But she has never experienced any trauma with her ears. Ears is a big thing for me. I'm just putting that out there. She's never had any experience with trauma with her ears. She is not my DNA. I grew her in my womb. This is epigenetics. I grew her in my womb. She came out. I love on her. I care for her well. She has triggers with her ears. She's never been harmed that way. That's my PTSD. So all I can do, it was passed on through epigenetics. I know several things. I could tell you many, many more that she never experienced, never even knew about, because I didn't talk to her about it. That is showing in her body and the way she reacts.
People from either one of the original donors.
I guess that's possible, but they were not related at all. So it wasn't like it was a husband or wife that created the embryo for me. Possible, but I doubt it. Too many of her little triggers are exactly, and she acts and reacts exactly as I did. She acts and reacts when me and my wife have an altercation, although it's not violent, it's not horrible, mean words being said, just an argument. She reacts the way I did when the violence I grew up in. She acts like violence is about to occur, although she's never seen or experienced violence in her life. The same way. It's very interesting. It's epigenetics, what happens in our womb for 7 generations to come. The positive thing is I've broken the chain, I've broken the cycle, and she's watching how I'm reacting. She's watching how I'm learning and dealing and going through my shadow work, and she's doing her own stuff. She's
7 generations.
7 generations.
Wow, is when it's fixed.
Both directions.
Both directions.
And
Yep.
It's a minimum of 7.
Yeah.
They believe it can go as high as 14 or more.
Depends. Yeah, it depends on the but you're all doing the work. You're starting the work, and that's where it starts. And you lead by example, and you heal your wounds, and you teach them if you can. You teach them young. I'm blessed. I'm getting to teach her young. I'm not, most of you have older children, so it's a harder road for you to toe, to teach them and show them. But they will. They'll learn. If it's right for them this lifetime, they'll learn.
What do you think about the people who do ancestral healing? Have you?
I'm one of those through Akashic Records. Through Akashic Records and the energy healing work I do, I think it can help. It definitely can catapult you up a little higher. Nobody is harmed from energetic work. I still believe and will stand firmly, you cannot buy your Gucci enlightenment. But it does help to have a good energy healer that you know, an Akashic Records healer that you know, and trust that you can be open and honest and vulnerable with to work you through that. But don't read it on TV. Don't read it in books. Go with what you feel. Okay? I cannot express that enough. If that person feels right, that's the right one for you. And listen to yourself.
I have a question, and it's kind of off that, but I've heard people work with, my mom had a hard birth with me. I was completely turned around. I came out back.
Breach.
Not butt first, back.
Oh,
back first because they waited so long. They kept telling her she wasn't having me, and she was. But so that's why I got the name Angel, because they said I was very lucky to live, you know. I've often wondered if I should do healing work with that, because they say it's traumatic, even though you don't realize it as you get older. But when you're little, you're trying to come and they're not letting you, you know, and something like that happens.
so she's asking if she had a traumatic birth, if she should heal that. I'm telling you, if you're asking, you must need to heal that.
That's what I think. If you think it, then you
Yeah.
must need to heal it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Does everybody need a healing from that? Probably not. But if you feel like it and are asking about it, you probably do. You probably do.
Just dropped 2 cents in when I was doing the research for the abuse book. They said that trauma starts in the womb. They believe that now for everybody. Just the contractions of the mother's womb in the birth process is a form of trauma. So then if you're born into a family that's filled with trauma or dysfunction, you're that much worse, you know, because you've already started it before you've even entered the world.
I'll be done. Thank you.
So one of my students here, author Karen Tate, just talked about her book, Normalizing Abuse, where she did work on studying trauma, and she learned and discovered that trauma actually starts even in birth. And so if you feel like you need to fix that, heal that energy, you need to go into that. And being born into a traumatic situation even amplifies that trauma that you experience through the birthing process. Anything else? No? Guess what? That's it. I'm going to say goodbye right now. Thank you for joining us today.